Good morning, guys. In case you couldn't tell, I'm filming in a different place today, so that's why it looks different. I'm in my kitchen rather than in Asher's room. Anyway, well, it looks like school is either over or almost over for you guys. I know it's over for Conan. How do you guys feel about that? Are you excited? What do you guys plan to do when school's over? I hope you'll use this extra time to do some cool stuff, like build awesome things with Legos, draw some pictures, write some stories, color, play outside, and maybe help with chores around the house. I know I'm excited to have more time to play with Conan. We're going to play some cool board games, card games, and video games. Conan wants me to play Mario with him, so I think we're going to do a lot of that. Just be sure to read some books during the summer. Just because it's about to be summer doesn't mean that you should stop doing things that are good for your brain. And keep your hands washed. It's important to keep ourselves healthy and safe all the time. So let's do our opening together. Repeat after me if you'd like, or just do the hand symbols with me. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are the church of the open mind, the loving heart, and the helping hands. Together we care for our earth and work for friendship and peace in our world. Let's begin. Last time we talked about being a part of the UU Church and what people like about being a part of it. Everyone in the UU Church, both here in Lubbock and all across the world, is a big family. And since we're all a big family, we're all here to help answer questions about big things you may have wondered about. There are a lot of things we wonder about, like why the sky is blue, why grass is green, and why water is wet. But what about things bigger than that? Things like, why should I treat people nicely when they're mean to me? Why do people have different religions and go to different churches? Or maybe you've even wondered about things that may seem scary, like why are there wars? Why do people die? What happens after we die? Like I said, some of these questions are scary, and that's okay. Lots of things seem scary when we don't understand them. Asking these big questions is a good thing because getting answers can make us feel better. But how do people come up with the answers to questions like these? Some people like to use science to answer them, listening to scientists to see what they say. Some people like to see what wise people from all around the world think. It can be really helpful to see what people from places other than America think about things. Some people go to church, like our church, the UU Church, and get answers from the services and from other people there. Or sometimes the answer we need is already inside of us. You guys are very smart and very clever. So I know that you can answer a lot of your questions on your own. You just have to slow down and listen to what your heart and your brain are telling you. Let's take a look at some of these questions now. Not the ones about the sky, grass, and water. I'll let your science teachers answer those. They could do a better job than I could. The answers I'm going to give aren't the whole story. It will be a short look into the topic. If you want to know more, I would recommend asking your parents or someone else that you trust. Let's start with why we should treat people nicely even if they're mean. Well, a few lessons ago, I went over the 7 UU principles, and a big part of those principles tells us that we should treat other people with love, fairness, respect, and compassion. Compassion, in case you don't know, means that we realize that another person may be in pain, and we try to be kind to them about it. It's like the golden rule. Treat other people the way that you would want them to treat you. So even if they're being mean, that doesn't mean we should be, mean and bad back to them. We need to show love and show them how we want them to act toward us. When we show love, we spread that love to others and make the world a better, nicer place. Well, why do people have different religions and go to different churches? Well, not everyone believes the exact same things. Different religions teach different things, and people will find a religion that agrees with what they believe, and they will go to a church that teaches that religion, and that's okay. Our UU principles teach us that we should accept another person's personal and spiritual journeys. So if they have another religion, as long as it makes them happy and it isn't hurting them or other people, we should be happy for them. Well, okay, why are there wars? Well, sometimes big groups of people get mad at each other over something that they feel is very important and decide to fight about it so they can get their way. Have you ever fought with a family member, like a brother or sister, or maybe a friend, because you wanted something different than they did? It's kind of like that, except with thousands or millions of people fighting each other. It doesn't look like they're treating each other with love and fairness, are they? Living by the UU principles helps us to avoid fights and maybe, hopefully, wars. Why do people die? Well, there are a few reasons. When our bodies get older, it gets harder for them to work the way they should. I'm sure you probably noticed that you can run around and play all day and do it a lot longer than your parents can. And that's because your bodies have more energy because you're younger. When you get really old, it can be so hard for things like your brain or your heart to work that they just stop working, which would cause you to die. Other things like getting in a car wreck, getting a bad disease like cancer, or even doing drugs can make your body stop working like it should and even make certain parts of your body stop working, which would also cause you to die. Don't be scared though. Humans are pretty tough. So as long as you're a bit careful and don't do a lot of dangerous things, you should be fine for a really long time. But what happens after we die? Well, your body will decompose. Like you've seen really old apples, kind of rotten, kind of like that. When any living thing dies, its body decomposes, which is good because it will help feed the earth. Like when an animal dies in the forest, its body will go back into the ground, which will make more plants grow and feed more animals. We become a part of the planet. Some people believe that when we die, a part of us, which is called the soul, will go somewhere new to live forever. I'll let you decide what you believe as you continue your own spiritual journey. There are a lot more questions, but I'm out of time for today. Do you guys have any questions you'd like to discuss? Ask them in the comments below. Next time, I'll talk to you guys about how a question can have different answers around the world because not everyone thinks the same way. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep your hands washed, don't pick your noses, and I'll talk to you again next time. Later.